Hi guys, it's Cecilia Ivy Price. I am working on a painting, a piece called a Death Doughnut. It's part of my Gothberry Treats Series. I am working on creating the bottom part right now, so instead of having it be a donut floating in space, it is a donut on a plate. So I'm carefully sketching that out. And I believe I end up redoing this about 3 times before I finally got my the plate the way I wanted it to, with the proper what's the word for it? Perspective. So I'm sketching it probably a little bit darker than I normally would. I know it's still light for you guys, but in reality it was a little bit darker just so you could still be able to see it. And then what I do is I erase the lines so they don't really show through the painting. I mean, sometimes that's an okay effect. It really depends on what you're going for, but generally you want to lighten up your lines. And I guess right here I was actually just redoing it again, but I will erase it before I do my painting over it, or at least parts of it. Okay, so now I'm going to start getting into my painting. I am using a watercolor palette by Koi. I really enjoy this palette, mostly because it has purple in it, and I love using purple. It saves me time from trying to mix up my own purple, which, depending on what hue you have of blue and red, it can turn out different shades, but this makes sure I get a consistent one. And for the most part, I'm going to start lighter and then try to make it darker later, because it's a lot easier to make something darker. It's harder to pull too much saturation out later. It's not impossible, but it's definitely harder. So we want to try to avoid that when we can. And you're going to see me start mixing other colors in here. So instead of just using straight purple, I'm going to add some blue, a little bit of red, so it helps tie back into the frosting from the donut itself. Okay, so here you're going to see me start adding the red in and kind of letting it mix with the purple a little bit. And then I'm going to add some blue to get some darker tints around the edge of the plate. Right here I'm just trying to reinforce the shadow underneath the plate to help show that it's sitting on a surface. And then I'm going to start playing around with the bones to kind of put some shadow underneath to help bring them out so they stick out and look like they're actually sitting on a surface, which adds a little bit of dimension. And in a little bit here you'll get a close-up so you can see it a little bit better. So you can see me trying to redefine some of the edges of the bones, and I will go back in when it's a little bit drier and add some white on the top to the ones that might not be exactly the shape that I want them to be. And one trick that some people use in watercolor is to actually take a white gel pen after the fact and use that to help create some highlights. Now I'm adding some shadow underneath the frosting to help make it look like it's really dripping on top of the donut and not being part of the donut itself. And here is where I start trying to do some of the white highlights, but the paint is still a little bit too wet, so it's coming out too gray and not very white. But like I said, I can add some gel pen highlights later if I decide I want to. Alright, and that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I appreciate every follow, every comment. You guys have a great day.